Okay, let's try this again. Take two. Now I've got the right overhead, or the right title on it here. Alright, get back in here. Let's refresh so it'll show up. Come on. Is it showing you that I'm live, Anthony? It is?
Yeah.
Oh, that's weird. I wonder why it's not showing up on my iPad. Let's go out and try it again.
Go out and go back into it, yeah.
Let's see here. Because I need comments. Alright, online. There we are. There we are. Now I can see. Alright. So now we'll wait for a few people to join us. Alright. See who wants to join in and watch today. Let's see, let's see. See if anybody else joins in to watch it. Give it a few minutes here, we'll see if anybody comes in. Doop. Mom and Dad was watching a while ago. They haven't joined back on yet. Let's see if they hop back on. Do you want to text them right quick and let them know that we're back on?
Yeah.
Give everybody a couple more minutes and then we will get started. While we're waiting, I'm going to go ahead and start mixing up my epoxy because on this kind of cup with the alcohol inks, you start with your epoxy already on the cup and that's what is used to swirl the alcohol inks in. So I've gone ahead and I'm using a 30 ounce Hottie's sublimation tumbler. I've already taken and sanded that shiny coating off, so that way it doesn't repel our epoxy. And I've already cleaned it off and everything, got it nice and dry. So now I'm gonna go ahead and mix up my epoxy. And I'm gonna do 30 mLs on this 30-ounce tumbler, so 15 of part A, 15 of part B, and then we'll mix it for a couple of minutes. Put that over there. I've got some over here. Thank you. Okay, that one and that one. Ugh, maybe, there we go. Get my gloves on. Alexa, set a timer for 2 minutes.
2 minutes, starting now.
She's my handy helper for timers. It's a lot easier to start and stop that one, since my hands are taken up. Sometimes I use my phone, but you have to, at least I haven't figured out a way to not have to use your hands to stop it. I can start it by my voice. Can't figure out how to stop it by my voice. It may be possible, but I haven't figured it out yet.
Apple Watches, you can just with your
The new
with your
ones, yeah, you can
fingers
touch your fingers
stop
together,
the
yeah.
timer, yeah.
Mhm. But even so now, I'm like, okay, so I would have to, you know,
Yeah.
still need voice control.
It's just easier.
Yeah, it is easier. Yeah, when those first came out, I was like, I don't know about all that. But then now I'm like, it's very handy.
Mm-hmm.
Very handy. Well, we had somebody else join us. Who
Okay,
else joined? Teresa. Hi, Teresa. She's actually the one that first showed me how to do the alcohol ink and the epoxy. I'd wanted to try, but never tried it. And then whenever I went to visit them, she showed me and we did one together. So, I've done quite a few since then.
There's knitting pops now.
Mom and Dad's on. Hello, hello, Mom and Dad. Just mixing up my epoxy so I can get it on my cup. And then we'll get started. Doom, 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 doom. Scrape the outside, mix it in.
Knitting pops said hello.
Alexa, stop. Let's see, wrong way. There we go. Alright, get this all wiped off, and we'll get our epoxy on. Okay, I can't sit down in epoxy, so I have to stand up. So, bear with me for a minute. I'm gonna try my best not to cover up the head cam while I do this. We are gonna move this out of the way because I don't want epoxy on my
You
decal.
need to turn it further towards you.
I think it's okay right this second.
Oh, I just meant comfortable wise.
Oh yeah, for comfort.
Yeah.
Maybe. I'll move it this way. There we go. That should be good.
That seems right good. 'Cause you're this way.
Yeah, kind of leaning forward a little bit.
Might help you there.
Yeah, because this whole thing will be happening on the turner.
Oh, yeah.
So. did mix up 30 mLs of epoxy, and I am using Mr. Nola's Speed Dry. So I'm going to get a nice coat of epoxy on here. So this is what helps the alcohol inks move around when we go to heat it up here in a minute and give us that swirl that I'm looking for. You do want kind of a generous coat of epoxy on here. So that way it's got some movement and some flow. Go ahead and get the bottom while I'm at it. Up and around the top. Level out that little hump that it created there. We don't want a hump in our coat. That's more to the bottom. And you can use regular epoxy for this. You don't have to use a speed dry. A lot of people do use the regular because it has more movement. It's not as thick. I'm just not that patient. I like my stuff to be done quickly. So, speed dry it is. And when you heat it up, it does give it some movement, so it's not bad. This all smoothed out again. And make sure we got enough on our bottom. Mat down a little bit. Make sure it covers the whole cup. Let it spin around, see if it looks good, see if I need to get more epoxy anywhere. Because I've got some left. I think it's actually looking pretty good though, so. I always put my epoxy cup in one hand, pull that glove off with the other hand, and then pull that glove over that one. That way, for me, it's nice and sealed. Pets, kids, all of that stuff, you don't need them getting into any of that epoxy, especially before it's cured. It can actually cause chemical burns if they get it on their skin, things like that. So I always do mine that way, just for safety. It makes me feel more comfortable having it around the kids and the pets. I'll go ahead and clean off my stir stick. And that part of my mat. Alright, so now here comes the fun part. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to heat this up. I'm sorry, it's going to get just a tiny bit loud. that's gonna help get a lot of those bubbles and things out. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna start with my black. And I'm going to kind of do dark on the bottom and dark on the very top. And then I'm going to transition into the darker blue and then the lighter blue with some white and things kind of mixed in. I want it to kind of look like we're in the middle of a night sky for the nativity scene. So we're going to go ahead and we're just going to drop our alcohol ink on here. It's going to start moving around. Drop it to where it kind of runs down the bottom of my cup because I want the bottom to also be done properly. And then we'll go to the top. Okay. I'm going to try and go with that for the black. Actually, that spot's pretty bare on the black, so let me get a little bit more on that up here. And then there it is, right in there. Okay. Then we'll go into my gentian, which is kind of a darker blue. Run that in with the black. Top and bottom again. Measure my decal. Perfect. Okay. This one's metallic blue, so I'm going to shake it up a little bit. I know it kind of looks like a hot mess right now. I promise it'll get better. And on your metallics, make sure you shake them up because that metallic kind of glitter stuff that makes it metallic sets in the bottom, and if you're not careful, you won't get that metallic in your finished project because it's all sitting at the bottom of your bottle. Okay, and then I want some silver. This is also a metallic, so I gave it a little shake. I don't want a whole lot of silver, just enough to kind of add some dimension to my sky. I think I'm going to put just a little drops. In the blue. Alright. So now we're going to heat this up and it's going to start moving around our cup. You can see as I got it like heated up with the heat gun how it kind of starts to swirl around and move. I want, uh-oh, glad that didn't hit my cup. I need some more black kind of in these areas here. Actually, I don't really want that much silver right there, so we're gonna go ahead and hit it with a little more black.
Foggy looking really cool.
Alright. You do want to be careful not overheat it, because it will like fast set instant cure, but that's pretty good. I got a lot of good movement with the beginning, and so whenever I just added those in, just kind of helped blend those in a little bit. But you can see how it kind of is still turning, and you can see how it's still kind of sort of moving. So that's kind of what we want. We want that movement in there to where it's not harsh lines or harsh drops or anything like that. So that's kind of what we're looking for. Whenever this is cured, I'm going to come back and I'm going to put my decal over that center area. That's why I kind of wanted the blue to come up and down and leave this kind of white in the middle. Now, if you got too much black or something in a spot, or if you got too much of your blue metallics up into the center, you can always come back with the white and brighten that center section back up so you have somewhere for your decal to go. But
I'm gonna turn your mic up just a little bit.
turn my mic up a little bit.
Then you can pause the saying it's hard to hear you.
Okay, there we go. Turn it up a little bit. Alright, did that get any better? And it may have been because I was standing up instead of sitting right in front of the mic, but let me know if that got any better.
Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt you while you were.
No, you're fine. It's okay. Yes, it is better. Okay, awesome. Good. I'm hoping it maybe was just because I was standing up instead of
so.
sitting in front of the microphone, but that's just something we will keep in mind for next time if I have to stand up, because I can't epoxy sitting down. It doesn't work very well for me. Some people can. I'm not one of those. So I'm going to go ahead and get this alcohol ink off my mat. The nice thing about the silicone mats, things just wipe off. Kind of see how it's still just kind of moving around a little bit. If you get your epoxy too hot, you may have some of your epoxy running off onto your mat, which is kind of the case there. You can see how it's kind of stringy because it gets hot and starts to kind of run. You don't really want it to run too much. You don't want like a puddle of epoxy under your cup. If you're using the regular set, it's more likely you might get a puddle under your cup because it's so much thinner to where mine is a thick epoxy because it's a fast set. So, get this a little bit cleaned off here. Try not to shake the camera, sorry y'all. But this process is a pretty quick process. And you have to kind of work pretty quick anyway if you're using the fast set epoxy. It does start to kind of gum up and set 15, 20, 25 minutes if you're lucky. And then adding the heat to it actually kind of speeds up that process. So as you're adding the heat, be very careful because it could flash cure on you and it will just like turn rock solid and be kind of weird bubbly. We don't want that. You do not want that. Because it's very hard to strip these cups. And we don't want to waste cups either. So just keep an eye on it. If you are doing these, I will tell you, please do not use a torch. If you use a torch for bubbles, don't do that on an alcohol ink cup. You will set your cup on fire. Please don't do that. Alcohol ink cups only use a heat gun to get it flowing and to get the bubbles moving and popped out as much as you can. Because a heat gun or a torch will set your cup on fire with alcohol ink because alcohol's flammable. So don't do that.
Don't do that.
Yeah, I've had some people that I watched and I don't guess they realized that alcohol ink is alcohol. And when they used their torch to pop the bubbles, they had a fire on the cup. So don't do that, please. We don't want anybody's house burning down or anything like that. So heat gun only.
Yes.
But yeah, that's a pretty quick technique. Wanted to hop on and show you guys because I want to make a cup like this. I had a friend of mine make me a cup and that cup got broken. It got dropped accidentally. So I wanted to make me one to not necessarily replace that, but I really love that cup. So I wanted to make me another nativity scene cup. And I figured it'd be a perfect thing to show y'all because it's kind of a quick and easy process and pretty kind of short and simple. So that way I could just hop on and show you right quick. But I'm going to let this turn now. I'll let it turn for an hour and then I will come back and then let it just set for another hour and then I'll apply my decal. Like I said, just right over the center. And this is like pieces. It is on clear cast still, but it's just pieces. So I'll use my transfer tape when I put this one on. But I'm just going to come in and put it right on top of there. Kind of have my metallic blue be my base. That's going to be on the feet of all the animals in the bottom of the manger there. And then kind of just let it flow up into the blue from that part. But other than that, that's all there is to it. So, I hope you guys had a great day, and I'll see y'all next time.